Hello soulmates, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with us the art of creating a panel skirt with flounce, and it's going to be a step-by-step tutorial. My name is Ajulam. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Kindly subscribe to my channel for more sewing tutorials and hit the notification bell to stay updated on my latest videos. So let's cut and sew this beautiful piece. I have with me my African print and a Duchess fabric, so I'll be combining these two for this tutorial, and I'll be making my panels 8 pieces. So I am working with the Duchess first, and I'm going to fold it in a triangle way, same way you fold when you want to cut a half circle. So you can see I am folding it that way. Just open it up. You can see this side is closed and this other side is open. So here is 2 yards. I'll just take it and fold it to form a triangle. Okay, now I'll be making these 8 panels. So before dividing the waist measurement with half of my circle, that is the formula for half circle, you're going to be adding the sewing allowance for your 8 panels. So each of my panels, that is the joining allowance, I'll be using 1 inch for each of them. Now since it is 8 panels, it's going to be 8 inches. Okay, and then I'll be adding my 2 inches for the zipper allowance, making it 10 inches. I'll take it again. I'll be cutting out 8 panels. That is to say, I'll be having 8 lines at the end of the day, and you know that we're supposed to join each of the lines together to form or to create the panels. So I'll be using ½ inch for one side and ½ inch for the other side, making it 1 inch for each of the joining allowance. So 8 panels, that is going to give me 8 inches plus my 2 inches for the zipper allowance, making it 10. Now I'll be adding this 10 now to the waist measurement. Now for this, the waist measurement is 30 plus the 10 that we just calculated now, making it 40. So I'll be dividing 40 by 3.14, and I think that is going to give me 12.7. So I'll just go ahead and mark that on this part. Okay, so here I have my 12.7. This on this point. So I'll just mark. I'll continue that way until I get to the other side, and then I'll connect the points together. Okay, so now we are going to fold. After cutting this out, we're going to fold this again to give us the 8 panels that we are working with. But before that, I'll quickly mark out the length of my skirt. So I have 24 inches here, so I'll be using that. So just quickly mark and then cut this out so we can fold now to get the 8 panels before we now cut out the flounce that is going to be on those panels. Here I have 4 panels already. After cutting, you're going to have 4 panels. So this is 1, this is 2, and 3, 4. Now I want this to be 8 panels. So all I'm going to do is simply folding this other one over. Now you can see that I have 8 panels here. Okay, if you check here, if you count what you have here each, you have 8 panels. So what I'm going to do is to notch all these points. After notching them, I will now use my ruler to connect it straight before cutting out all the pieces of this. So I'll quickly notch this part as well, and then use my ruler, like I said, to connect the line straight. Okay, I'm just notching all the important side. Okay, so I'll go ahead now and open it up. Then I'll use my ruler and connect. Okay, so this is the first notching. I'm going to connect it to this point here. I have my 8 panels, as you can see, after drawing out the lines. So I'll be cutting it out now so that I'll have my 8 panels. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the last one 8. So I'll just go ahead now and cut this off. Now remember that I added my ½ inch for each of these. The joining allowance is already added, so you don't have anything to worry about having shortage on this waist area. So the sewing allowance is already added. So I'm going to cut out these to have my 8 panels. But before that, I'm going to measure what I have here, because this is what I'll be cutting out as the flounce. So I'll place my tape now from the waist. Now I will not be taking it exactly from the waist, because remember that on this waist side you will need your ½ inch for the sewing allowance. So you can see the way I'm placing my tape, ½ inch from this waistline, and then I'll measure what I have left. Okay, I'll also leave ½ inch on this hem area as well. So I have 24 inches, which is the length for the skirt. So my flounce is going to be 24 inches, and it's going to be 8 pieces as well, because we're going to be joining it together on these lines. So before cutting out the flounce, let me quickly cut this out, and then I'm going to use my African print now and cut out the flounce. Alright, to create the flounce, all you need to do is to remember what you're using as the length of your flounce. I am using 24, and then you decide the height of your flounce. So for this, I'll just make it 6 inches. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to mark out 2 inches to form a round circle on this part. So I'll just quickly do that. This is 2 inches. After marking out these 2 inches, you need to connect it to form a round circle. From there, we'll now mark out the height that we want to use. For me, it is 6 inches. Okay, so you can decide to start from anywhere you want, anywhere from these 4 lines. Okay, so I'll be starting from this line that is directly facing me. So I'll go ahead and mark. I'll make it 6 inches because of the allowance I'll be using to join it on the panels. So I'll keep on marking 6 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it now from this point. From this other point here, I'll just mark, take it all the way down to meet up to that point where I started marking, and I'll keep on connecting it that way. As you're connecting, you keep on measuring it so that you don't waste your paper. Once it's up to the length that you want to use, you just end it there. So this is 6. I'll just keep on going that way and then keep connecting. This way, this method will make you not to waste a lot of your fabric. You can also use the full circle method. so whichever one you prefer you can use. So I'll keep on going. From here I'll mark my 6, and then when I get to this line I will just continue just from there, just like that. Here, as you can see, that my flounce is ready. So this is what it looks like. I have my 24 inches length for the flounce. Now you can see that I've changed my fabric. I'll be using this one, not this. Reason being that for this particular one, the back side is too faint and I don't want to add any lining to the flounce, so I want to use only this. So the back, you can see, is very faint, but this other one, the front and the back is almost the same. You can't easily tell the difference, so that's why I'm using this one. So I'll quickly cut out. This is 1 yard here already in 4 folds, so this is going to give me 4 flounce. So I'll just pin now and then cut it out, and then fold another 1 yard of this to get the 8 of my flounce before joining them to my panels. Okay, so now for a full detail on how to cut a flounce, I have a step-by-step video on that, and I'm going to drop the link in the description box in case you want to check that out. So I'll just quickly pin and then cut. Now for the edge, you're going to be using your 3 thread or weaving just to make it look neat. Okay, if you like, you can also fold it using your sewing machine, but for this to come out very clean, it's advisable to use your 3 threads so that it will come out very neat. So let me just quickly cut so we can start the sewing. After joining the flounce on each of my panels, you can see what I have here that is already looking so beautiful. So this is how it is all the way down. Now you can see that this skirt part is already busy, so for the bodice part I'm going to make it as simple as possible, and I've used my 3 threads to close up the edges so that it will look neat. So I'll be making the upper side very simple. So here you can see I have my pattern already. So if you want to make this measurement is for a 13-year-old. So I have my princess dart for the front side drawn. I already have a video on how to do how to draft a princess dart pattern for a little girl. I'll also drop the link in the description so you can check that out to know how I got to this point. Alright, so for this side, this upper side is going to have a little yoke, and I'll be using this simple lace for both the sleeve and the yoke part of this dress. So all I'm going to do is to decide where to join the the yoke for both the front and the back. Alright, so all I'm going to do is to come up from this chest line. I'll just go up by 0.75, and then I'm going to connect it from that point to the edge of the shoulder point. So this is my 0.75 there. So I'll just come up to this. This is the end of the shoulder measurement. So I'll just trace it, just for it to have a little curve, and then you make sure that it will meet up to where you've marked already. So this part now is going to be the yoke. I'll repeat the same for the back side as well. Okay, you can decide to give your yoke any shape that you want, but I'm using this shape because I'll be using a ruffle or a kind of pleats to close up this line. Okay, and I want it to go all the way through the back side. So I'll come over to the back as well. Okay, so for the back one, I will not be going up by any inch. I'll just connect it from the shoulder point there to meet up to this chest line. So I'll just repeat the same. You can see, you can just draw the way you want yours to be. So this is the back yoke. You can see that the pattern is ready. It's very easy. So I'm going to cut this out now. Cut out my simple net on this for the yoke, and then I'll use my Duchess for the rest of this other side. Okay, so I'll just quickly do this part so I can show you the final look of the dress.